How's it going, folks? Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. We're really glad to be with you here, bangthebook.com. Trying to talk about some of the angles and things you can pay attention to with all these seasons that are starting to overlap. The NHL, the NBA, college basketball is about to start, and the NFL. Always get great information at the Sports Betting Cup podcast. And let's just talk about some things maybe you should start paying attention to. Hey, the NHL, the Golden Knights here in Vegas have been off to an incredible start, an expansion team off this raucous 7-1 start. No one saw that coming, so watch for the adjustments on the Golden Knights numbers. Arizona yet to win a game. How much of it was Vegas with the 7-game homestand? Bottom line is it's a good team, but now you got to watch for the over adjustment. Two teams that have been long powers in the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens, the New York Rangers, really struggling. You're going to start to see value on the number. You've got a great goaltender in Price. Can Montreal turn it around? Keep an eye out for that. The other one to watch, New Jersey Devils. It's not your granddad's New Jersey Devils. It's a team that is offensively loaded now with Hischier. You get Will Butcher, the young kid. Adam Henrique, Taylor Hall. This is all of a sudden a dead-over team, and the odds makers maybe just haven't caught up to that yet. Watch for the New Jersey Devils to score a lot of goals. And oh, by the way, the Colorado Rockies, everybody thought they were, or the Avalanche rather, thought they were going to be awful again. Only 20 wins last year. They come out of the gate with a 5-4 start. So one year to the next, things can certainly change. The NBA, we watch the injuries. The Hayward injury in Boston, certainly a nightmare for them. You've got Chris Paul hurt with Houston. The one thing we're seeing is inordinately high totals at the beginning of the year. Are the refs letting them play a little more and not calling it that tightly at the moment? So you watch for these trends and errors in the NBA. Used to be defensive brand of basketball. Now it's basically clear it out, up-tempo, run and gun. And we're seeing really high totals at the outset of the NBA season. In the NFL, you want to watch for situational plays. West Coast teams traveling east. You're going to get a couple of them this week. San Francisco's going to Philadelphia. Oakland's going to Buffalo. A lot of times it just flat out doesn't work for those West Coast teams. Their body clock is still saying it's 10 a.m. in the morning when they're playing a 1 o'clock kickoff. The other thing, I think there should be separate power ratings for teams when they're home and away. We are seeing flat out that Denver is really good at home and they are really ordinary when they're on the road. So watch for that when you're doing your power ratings. It may not just be make a rating for the team overall. It might be a home number and it might be a road number for you as well. And then I think the other thing you got to really take into account, I just always say it's driven me crazy, is from a power rating perspective, you just flat out don't see special teams and turnovers taken into account in terms of a wagering number. Now, clearly you can't predict turnovers, but the bottom line is the teams that are really, really good at it, listen, Buffalo, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Detroit, New Orleans, 4 of those 5 off to a really good start. And those are the teams at the top of the list in the takeaway department. And I also think special teams flat out matters. If you're constantly winning the field position battle, I think you got to look long and hard in your handicapping to take a peek and go inside the game and look at special teams. Leading special teams, New England, Chargers, Minnesota, Tennessee, Philly, Pittsburgh. Oh, by the way, everybody on that list, a winning football team. Chargers have been right there knocking on the door. So sometimes you got to go inside the numbers, inside the game. Your power ratings are one thing. I always say, use them as a starting point, but situational opportunities arise each and every week. And every game is a snowflake. You get those opportunities. Don't be afraid to read between the lines. Always glad to be with you here at bangthebook.com. Follow along on Twitter at bangthebook. I'm Brian Blessing. We'll be back with you in Las Vegas again next week.